All right, welcome back to Big Time Fantasy Football with your hosts, Nick and Zach. Zach, you want to let them know what we're getting into today?
Yeah, so we did our buy lows earlier this week, and today we are going to get into our sell highs, get these players off your team basically for some value still. So I'll let you go ahead and get into the first one.
Absolutely. We're starting hot with this one. Kyron Williams is going to be my first sell. I know people might think I'm crazy. He's just 23 years old. He had a very productive season this past year. Um, and I might be a little crazy. I'm not saying that he's gonna absolutely drop off the face of the earth. I don't think he's necessarily gonna have a terrible year next year, but I am looking to cash in for his top dollar value this season. Um, he did good, but he didn't have much competition this past year, and the Rams could very easily bring in, even if it's not a big name player, just someone to take some carries off his plate, take some work off his plate. Especially he did miss 3 or 4 games with injury this past year. I can see them definitely trying to lower his workload to try and keep him healthy. Numbers will go down a little bit, so I'm trying to cash in this year while I can. He's valued around the RB7 right now. That's a mid to late first round, around the 107, which you can still get an elite prospect with that, and also around like a DJ Moore or a Devon A. Chain. So
Yeah, and from where you would have got him, I know in our dynasty draft he went in the fourth round, and I believe he got picked up off waivers after that. So anywhere in that range that you spent for him, whatever you can get back for him is going to be a big cash out. So yeah,
definitely.
for sure. And kind of with a similar logic as my next guy, I went with Tajay Spears, another guy drafted in the third round. He was the 81st pick. These guys that go in the third round or later, they almost never have staying power. The only one in the NFL really right now is Aaron Jones. Everyone else, when you go into later rounds, no matter how good of an early season you have, they end up shipping you out basically. So Tyler Spears is a younger guy, and I think now that Derrick Henry is almost certainly gone, that people are just like, oh, he's going to be the starting running back. So you're getting a young starting running back, but there's still free agency, there's still a draft, so there's a lot of other options that they could do. So I think, yeah, getting Tajay Spears out of there before they sign another big guy. So this is one you want to do soon. Um, I think you'll get a good value for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And these two guys are people that I'm hearing about all off season, these two running backs. So
Yeah.
great time to buy, great time to sell. So I will go ahead and get into my next guy. My next sell is going to be David Njoku. He's 27 years old. He is right now on Keep Trade Cut. He is the tight end 9. Last season, he had his career best in targets, receptions, yards, and touchdowns. So I'm definitely looking to cash out on what he did. Most of his production did come without Deshaun Watson, which Deshaun Watson should be back this next year and in the future. He averaged 6.9 yards or 6.9 points in half PPR when Deshaun Watson was playing, and when he was not playing, he averaged 12.3, so almost double. When Watson was out, that was with Flacco. I don't know if Watson will hyper target Njoku like he was towards the end of the year. Um, but that is one of the main reasons why I'm trying to cash out right now. His value is sitting right around like a David Montgomery, maybe a mid second round pick this year, or even like a Kirk Cousins if you want to take a stab at quarterback, which in the Superflex league, quarterbacks are always going to be valuable if they have a starting job.
Yeah, for sure. No, Njoku, one of those guys, had a great season last year, so I want to capitalize on that if you can, for sure. I'll get into my next guy. We got, I'll go with Derrick Henry, guy I mentioned earlier. So he's not a guy you can sell for super high right now, but the idea with him is sell him before you can't sell him for anything. So what you want to do is find a contender that needs a running back, send him over there. He was the RB8 last year, but he is 30 years old, which typically the cliff for a running back is around 29. So he had a good season for how old he was. The cliff didn't hit yet. It's hitting soon. So you definitely want to ship him out before he doesn't have any value for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely coming. I'll be excited to see where he lands this offseason. And as soon as he signs with the team, I think that's going to be the perfect time to sell him.
Yeah, definitely.
Good idea there. I'm going to go into my next guy, Alvin Kamara. He is going into his year 29th season this year, which is pretty old for a running back. Not as old as Derrick Henry, not quite to that age cliff, but definitely getting there any year now. Keep Trade Cut has him as the RB 26 in Dynasty. Good for about a mid second round this year. Maybe Aaron Jones, Jahan Dotson, other players that I like a little better than him. Even Kendre Miller, which is the young running back behind him right now. Kamara's just getting older. He does have Kendre Miller behind him. He looked good in his in the last game this past season. Um, Most of his value did come from receptions. He had 2 games with over 12 receptions, which is insane. And he only had 1 game this year with more than 70 rushing yards. And since we play half PPR, you got to discount him even more for that. And as he gets older, is his pass catching ability going to keep up? And if that offense takes a step forward, is he really going to get that much opportunity as he has? So I'm definitely selling him. Slow down towards the end of the season. Get out while you can.
Yeah, another guy that kind of came in late last year and then boosted his value. So good sell high there for sure. Um, Get into my last guy here. Then we got Stephon Diggs. He was the wide receiver 10 last year, so he had a good season, to get people's attention. But he is 30 years old now, and he's kind of through his whole Buffalo tenure always had there's been tension. Like, is he going to go? Or does he want to play there? So you never know what's going to happen with him, if he's going to stick around in that high-powered Bills offense, or if he's going to get shipped out, or if he's going to leave, get cut. Who knows what's going to happen with him. But the main thing here, like I said, is just capitalizing on the high value. He was the top 10. He was wide receiver 1 last year. So getting value for these older guys is kind of my focus on this. For the most part, obviously Spears is a younger guy, but getting value for Diggs while you still can is kind of the same line of thinking as Henry.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to note we're not saying get rid of these guys at all costs, at least for all of them. We just want to capitalize on the value that they do have right now before it either decreases or goes down tremendously. So,
Yeah, absolutely. The only guy I would say I, is get rid of now for sure is Derrick Henry.
yeah,
I think
definitely.
he's a
That
ticking
cliff
time
is
bomb. I
coming
mean, he's a
hard.
great player. He has a
Yeah.
lot of tread on him, but get rid of him. But Diggs, yeah, player that you could keep around, but definitely you could sell high on right now. So
Mm,
good little note there.
yeah. All right. I think that'll do it for our dynasty sells. You got anything to add?
No, no. There's some more guys that we could throw out there. Maybe we'll do a follow up video or some sells later in the season. But yeah, I mean, these guys get value for them while you can. Pretty summed
Definitely.
up basic there. Yeah, but other than that,
All
it's been big time
right.
fantasy football. Feel free to drop a like, a subscribe, drop a comment. Who are yourselves or any of these guys on your list as well? Just let us know.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching.
It's been it. Bye.